Hello everyone, Chocolo here, not for a video review this time, but for a discussion, yes, a discussion video. I did a top 10, or top something, yeah, top 10 chocolates I wish they'd bring back a month or so ago now, and I kind of thought, well, they seem to go down quite well actually, and I thought I'd try and do some other discussion ones as well, and yeah, and this one's basically, what do I decide to review, or what do I review, or to review, or not to review, that is the question, I guess, yeah. Or what do you want me to review even? Let's make it, a two-way thing. I mean, I want to start off by saying, basically I want to go over sort of what I decide to review, because obviously there's loads of stuff out there really, and, it's quite, I have to sort of, I wouldn't say whittle it down, but there are some things I think just aren't suitable for reviewing really, for one reason or another. Some of them my own, what's the word? My own, I can't feel the word really, sort of like basically my own sort of feelings on it, whether I would enjoy reviewing it, or whether it would be something I'd like to review as such, and like is probably the wrong word to use, because it would be suitable for me to review, I guess, is more of it, and other things are really sort of whether it's just actually suitable to review, because there's some things, that might just not be quite easy to review, things. Let's just say, things like you have to warm up, for instance, a bit more awkward to review, or things like cereal which goes soggy, the longer you have them, and stuff like that, things like this, And then the other one is, of course, is it worth me reviewing something? I might see some really, some like I've done a review actually, I've not published it yet, of this Tesco. So I've got into is it Tesco's own brand sort of chocolate fried egg or something, and it's clearly probably an Easter product, and very niche, and you can buy it at Tesco, and probably can't buy it anymore, and it was just basically a bit of chocolate, and I reviewed it, and I've not published it yet, and I was like, is it worth me spending the hour, 2 hour, whatever, and all the faff of rendering the video and uploading it? Is it worth me doing it? Who's going to want to see that? Is anyone going to want to see it? And if they do see it, they probably can't buy it anymore, so yeah, you know what I mean. Very difficult one to know where to draw the line really. Let's go back to the start then. So what do I say no to reviewing? Now, those of you who followed me on Instagram, and probably people who've been following the channel for a while and perhaps have asked me certain questions in the comments, ice cream basically. I love ice cream. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ice cream and pizza are my two favourite things ever. I love ice cream. And in a perfect day, I'd have both. And unfortunately, this is why half the time I have to end up cutting down. So ice cream is a lovely thing, and to be honest with you, you'd think, oh yes, I'd review it. You'd think, oh yeah, brilliant. Why not review it? Well, the reason I don't review it is because the way I eat ice cream, it's more down to the way I eat it. For me, ice cream is sort of quite a big indulgence, and it sounds a bit sort of, what's the word? It does sound indulgent actually, the way I'm going to say this, and a bit sort of, maybe, I don't know, what's the word? Words are leaving me today. There's some complicated words I want to use for these things. It basically seems a bit sort of, borderline, sort of like erotic, the way I like to enjoy ice cream. Well, I mean, that's, there's probably a better word I want to use than that really, because it's not that erotic, but what I mean is I really take pleasure from eating, pleasurable, it's pleasurable for me to eat ice cream, it really is. I really like it, and basically I don't, and it's very high in calories, and I don't know if I want to spend those calories reviewing something that I quite enjoy like that. And you can't eat that much of it, because I say you can't eat that much of it. You can eat that much of it, but the problem is, I want to enjoy it. I want to be sort of sat doing something, with a nice warm cup of coffee, because I like the difference in hot and cold tastes, when I have ice cream. I want to have a nice cup of coffee with the ice cream, then doing something I enjoy, like watching a decent program, or doing something, something. Having basically sort of like a sort of an experience, I guess, in a way. It's got to be just, the ambiance has got to be just right. I guess that's the what I'm trying to say. And basically, as much as I love you guys, when I'm sitting there eating a review, it's not really right. It's not how I want to be eating ice cream, because it's a big investment. Ice cream is quite expensive these days. All these Ben and Jerry ones. I mean, I am talking about high end ice cream when I say I like ice creams. I'm not talking about just a tub of Neapolitan or whatever. So they're expensive, and the other thing with ice cream is as well, it gets even better as you eat it, because it melts, and that's the key thing as well. It melts, it gets, so obviously there's a time frame you've got to review it as well, so you can't be faffing around too much, and it tastes even nicer, and it's just as you go in. So basically, you can have some at the start, and it's, I don't know, one thing or another, and it's okay. But then it gets even better. And there's also I have a flip technique, and basically I get the ice cream. It's in a tub generally, isn't it? I'll be eating it from the tub here. There's none of this taking out the tub, whatever. I did that, I don't know, when I was young, but not anymore. And you basically, if you get the spoon in, and you can pull it out with the spoon if you're very careful, and put it back into the tub with not any spillage whatsoever. It's a skill I've developed, and I really recommend doing it. And basically, the bottom of the ice cream is all beautiful and even more melted than the top. So when you've had all the melted bits at the top, you can do that technique, and you can put it upside down, and it'll be beautiful melting. You can keep flipping, basically. But all this, you can't. I don't know how best to convey this, because to get the ultimate ice cream experience, I would be having to do all this, and it would having to be melted. It would be having to be melted in just the right way to start with. And some ice cream just doesn't melt well straight away, or it takes time to melt it. So when I'm trying to review things, I don't want to be having to leave stuff out to defrost, before I can review it, because it takes time to do the reviews anyway. And it's it's difficult. This is the thing. I have to weigh up, how much time I'm going to spend on reviews, and then, obviously leaving stuff out to defrost. Is it defrosted just right? Oh no, it's not. But I only know when opening it, if it's defrosted just right. Now, I can't just go away. And then once I've opened it, I've kind of, my whole one of the sort of things in my reviews is I open it from the start. So I start from opening it, looking at the box and wrapper or whatever it is, and then I open it. So if I've got to do all that, I've already done half of it, and it's. I don't know, maybe I could do that while it's it's still fresh from the freezer or whatever, so it is still fully frozen. But you know what I mean, it's just adding complexity and adding, stuff that's uncertain, and also, it's just when is it perfectly defrosted? Again, even, it's hard to say. I mean, the perfect time for me always seems to be when I've got back from the supermarket with it. It's always perfectly defrosted then. And that's why very rarely it ends up being hanging around much longer than that, Although I do tend to buy more than one at once, I do admit. But basically, I would eat it straight away, because it's just at the most beautiful consistency at that point. I mean, without labouring it even more, I think you can clearly see here that there's a lot going into the way I eat ice cream, really a lot into how I enjoy it, and I just don't think it would lend itself to me reviewing it very well. I would love to review them, but of course then it's the calorie wise. I really like to be enjoying it when I'm eating ice cream. I don't want to waste experience by being somewhere that I'm not really, I don't want to be eating it in front of you guys. And then as I say, you eat half the tub, and it's a lot of calories, half the tub. You're talking, 500 calories or something to eat half a tub of this Ben & Jerry's or whatever, and it's a lot of calories, that. And then for me not to have really enjoyed that to its maximum potential, which, it's I'm not. I don't know. I'd rather just enjoy the ice cream and eat it elsewhere. Really, that's the thing, I think. And it's just a personal thing for me. I think other people might not be too bad. And I'll say some people eat ice cream without to be. I don't bite ice cream. I don't know. What's the I don't know, there's no sort of non-innuendo way of saying it, but I like to sort of suck it off the spoon or whatever, I guess, like it's been melted. I'm not biting it and chewing it. That's not ice cream for me. It's got to be just that right, perfect time frame of where it's just about no longer really a solid, but still quite thick, or it seems a solid till you scoop it and then it's just beautifully melted, so, there's all that goes into it. It's very complicated. It's high calorie, really, really indulgent treat, and I don't know, I'm just not at the point where I want to review it really. I mean, maybe one day, who knows. But some people might have seen, I've done some, I do little mini reviews on Instagram where I just post a video of me just with a Magnum or something, or just with a scoop and just saying, oh yes, look at this is nice, and I'll kind of do that kind of thing just to show while I'm eating, because it's literally just with a scoop then, and that's probably the extent I'm willing to go really, because then I can at least just enjoy it. It's still a bit of a faff to do that, to be honest with you, because you've got to make sure you can, because you're doing it with one hand and then you've got the spoon with the other, and you've still got to have the camera somewhere and all this nonsense. So it's a bit complicated. But yeah. Anyway, so that's. I hope maybe that's not any clearer at all. But hopefully that's in some way clearer for you to understand that. So things like cereals and stuff, obviously this is it the reverse problem? Yes, the reverse problem. It gets worse as time goes on with cereals, doesn't it? Because obviously you've got to usually have milk on them, really. I mean, I think that's the gist of a cereal, I would say. You don't have to eat it with milk, but I think that's the intention. So to review it, I would have to have milk. It's going to get more soggy. Sometimes things go wrong when I'm doing reviews. Sometimes I have to restart the review or something, or I forget to turn the sound on. I don't know. There's little things like this, and sometimes whatever, and then I have to restart or something. So I spent a minute, and then basically, long story short, time's gone on. Cereal is obviously degrading here, and of course there's other things in cereal. Eating it with warm milk, some of them, and things like this. It just gets more complicated. I mean, the closest thing to cereal I have reviewed, I think, was those Cadbury's Joyfuls, or whatever they're called, Joyfills. Just these terrible idea of some sweets, which actually turns out they're basically just cereal, really, and they taste quite good as cereal if you put them into a bowl and put milk on them. But basically, there's a sweet they were terrible, but they're basically like a Crave sweet, that cereal, and in sort of like in sweet form or something, Anyway, that's probably close, but I think it's just too much of a faff, really. Then the other thing as well, sweets. I just mentioned to review sweets. I've reviewed a couple of sweets. I think I'm going to say sweets. These are kind of Skittles, I don't know, jelly sweets or something. I reviewed a couple of these things. I don't know, they tend not to have much of an interest for people. No one seems to really be that bothered, in watching those. And I can kind of see why. I think people just know what you're going to get from, wine gums or something, or a chewy jelly sweet. They just know that's what they kind of know what they are. I mean, there might be nicer ones than others, but generally I don't think there's any point in reviewing jelly babies or whatever. And I don't know, I just don't think people are interested in watching that. I don't know why it is, really. And it just seems to be the case. I just don't think there's any point, So, maybe if there's something special, I might review them. And there are some sweets. I do quite like sour sweets, they are my thing. But again, as I say, I just don't think people are that bothered about watching those. And I just think there's not really much of an interest. And I can kind of get it, because I think you just know what you're going to get with those kind of sweets, don't you? You don't really, you just know what you're going to get, and it's hard to describe. Oh, yes, it's chewy. Yeah, it's got sour taste, and I don't know, and I just think people know where they stand with those. Yeah, so there we go, But I think that brings me on to the next one quite neatly, really, as if I'd planned it. Just what to review, what has any interest? Are people interested in it? And this is my main thing, actually, really. Are people interested in what I'm going to review? What I'm reviewing. I've just reviewed some Cadbury's McVitie's digestive twists. Now, biscuits is another thing that's a difficult one, because I do review some biscuits because they are on the border between, in a weird way, sweets and chocolate. They're kind of that middle ground, really, where they're not quite a chocolate bar, but they're not quite something as sort of standard as sweets. But basically they fall in that little gap in between where there is a bit of interest in what they are in them being reviewed. And some of them can be quite interesting. But not as exciting. You know what I mean? But there is an interest there. So these do sometimes get reviewed, and if there's a new product like those McVitie's twists, I'll review them. But some things, I just don't think people bother, even chocolate, and because when I first started this channel, I thought my main thing would be reviewing chocolate that people didn't really know about. I thought that would be the way to go. You want to review stuff that people have not heard of, and that's what's going to be interesting. People, if you review some random independent company's chocolate, that no one's heard of. I reviewed some, for instance, take for instance a company Montezuma. They sometimes appear in Sainsbury's, but essentially they were sort of like an independent chocolate producer in Brighton or somewhere like that, I think in the UK. Not a big presence, and I thought, hang on, this is great. I can review these products. People have not heard of them. People are going to be really interested in what I've got to say about this, or just the internet generally. I mean, of course, I was a small channel then. I'm still quite small anyway, but I had about 50 subscribers or something. But all 50 of these people are going to watch this, and all other people are going to say, "Oh yeah, it's brilliant. No, I've not heard of this company before. I'd like to know whether they're any good or not." But basically, no one's interested. People just aren't interested in stuff they've not heard of before. I mean, maybe the odd few subscribers that I have, the core amount of people will watch stuff I've reviewed no matter what it is, really, and that's great. It's really great, and that brings me on to something else that I'll come back to later. So hopefully I won't forget that. But it's subscribers versus non-subscribers, which is what I want to go on, and what's to cater for the needs, really. So I'll come to that in a bit. But so basically you review something random and people just aren't really that bothered about it, not interested. And at the moment of this recording, I have about 550 odd, 60 odd subscribers, and basically I think only probably 10% of those people if that, watch my videos. So I don't know what the other people, I don't know why they've subscribed. Maybe they just watch one in every 2 videos or something, and it kind of works its way out. I don't know really, but from the statistics and from the view counts and stuff, I think that's probably about it. So I don't really know what's going on there. Could be wrong, of course. Maybe over time, over a month or something, they all end up watching my videos, and could be that really. Maybe just something's not interesting. Well, again, they're not interested in. So yeah, I'll put this Montezuma's chocolate. I don't know. We have these random flavors. I don't know, salty dog flavor or something. And I'll review it and I'll put it out there, and then basically, yeah, the 10% of subscribers watch it. So that's 50 views or something, and basically it just doesn't attract any. No one else is bothered. The internet just doesn't care. You see, they don't really watch. Maybe the odd 1 or 2 reviews, but basically those reviews I do will just linger in my back catalogue with about 100 views or something, and they'll never increase from that. They'll never go higher. There's just no interest, and I really thought that would be the breakthrough there. I thought reviewing these random things, would be quite interesting. Now, some of you might think, oh yeah, well you review Phaser chocolate, the Finnish brand, and that gets quite a few views. But the thing is, they're Finnish people, I think, watching them, really. And it's a bigger brand anyway, but I think a lot of Finnish people will watch it, because they know the brand. To them, it's their Cadbury, so it's not a small brand at all. It's not random chocolate, that you just found off the street or whatever. It's a big brand. So, so you kind of, it's not the same, really. It's not the same. So you're appealing to a different subset of people on the internet, really. So that's the thing. So bear in mind, they're not expensive chocolate bars, but sometimes they're a pain to get, or it does add up, really. It does add up, and obviously it's more the time and the calories, really, because obviously I've got to bear in mind that I'm eating these things, and I'm not getting any younger, unfortunately, so I can't burn off as calories as well as I used to. So I've got to be careful of what I can and can't review, and I've got to kind of prioritise things. I've got like a back catalogue of stuff, a backlog of things to review and things like this, and I've kind of got to pick and choose, really. Sometimes I've got to be careful what I pick, because I say I can spend a long time reviewing something, and it might just might be no interest in it, and so when I've got like a choice of one thing or another, I've suddenly got to think, well, is it worth me reviewing this, or if I've got these 2 things, which ones people are more interested in? And I used to think it'd be the more random stuff. But it isn't really. It isn't. People, subscribers, anyone watching this, tell me what you think. It's probably going to be my subscribers viewing this. So obviously tell me what you think. So, what you feel this is the truth or not. But it seems to be the case for non-subscribers, which I'll come into a bit more. If I put out a review of something random, not random, something very standard. So everyone's had, say, Cadbury's buttons. Everyone's had them, in the UK. I realise there's subscribers from outside the UK. But in the UK, that is something you'll have always had. You'll have had when you were young. It's a very standard thing. Everyone's heard of Cadbury's. It's dairy milk chocolate. Basically, if you haven't had this chocolate and you live in the UK, you're either been living under a rock, you've been brought up by a family who doesn't give you chocolate, or you've just been very unlucky. So you're going to have tasted it. But those kind of chocolate reviews get the reviews. People watch them for whatever reason. They think, oh yeah, I really like Cadbury's buttons. I want to see what this guy thinks. I think that's kind of how it is. So some of my biggest viewing figures on them, not massive, but say almost 10,000 views. Some of them are on really like Cadbury's Heroes, Celebrations box set. The box of chocolates. The other ones, your Quality Street, stuff like that. I think at the moment I keep randomly getting spikes in my mini eggs pack of cream eggs review, and it just goes. I get like, for some reason I'm getting 1,000 views every 24 hours or something, or every 48 hours on that, or something ridiculous. I don't know why. It just keeps peaking like that, and I don't know why. It's right, and it's obviously non-subscribers, and it's probably people, I don't know, they just seem to be interested in something they've already tasted, and they just want to see what other people think. And I think that's the thing. And I think that's, maybe that is the case, so people want to see what other people think, or, maybe people do want to see a new chocolate. But if I said, well, hang on, I've got Cadbury's buttons with caramel or something like that, I think that would be popular, because again, oh, hang on, it's what I like, but with something else. What's it like? That would be a kind of review that would be popular for both those reasons, cover both those bases of being something new and something that people like, So, so you've got that kind of thing going on. So that probably bucks the trend a bit. But generally, people seem to want to watch stuff that they already know about and they've already tasted. It's not, they don't want to discover things generally, I don't think. Maybe the odd few do. But, so what do I do there? Do I review something random? Do I review a really random Italian chocolate that I found in, I don't know, B&M or something, that's basically, or Home Bargains or something, that is probably only going to be there for a month and then it would be very difficult to buy again. Do I review that, or do I review Cadbury's cream eggs? That's that's just guaranteed to get loads of, well, proportionately a lot of views more than the other one. Now really, I don't do this for money. I don't do this, other than the fact that I, sort of enjoy it and just want to put reviews out there. So basically, the answer is whatever I feel like, really, in regards to that. I will review what I want because I don't make money from it. I don't have to get the review, the views. It's nice to do that because it's a means to an end. Because the more views you get, it means I can perhaps I get more. It all equates to more views because the more views you get, the more views come in because other people are viewing them. So it's one of those, really. So you do want more views, really, but obviously I don't want to be sort of dictated to what I should and shouldn't review by for any reason. So becomes a bit of a difficult one, really. But also the fact that my subscribers, people, like yourselves watching this, because as I said, I don't think there'll be non-subscribers watching this. Maybe the odd one or two, but I think there's mainly be subscribers watching this. Obviously, I want to produce stuff that you'll like. And that might be new chocolates or things I just think are a bit different, stuff like that. And I think that's really the point, because I find it difficult to justify my channel if I'm just producing stuff that people have already tasted, and there are other videos out there about, really. I mean, maybe people like to know what my particular opinion is on something, which is fair enough, and that's nice. It's really appreciated that people value my opinion. But generally, I think it's quite interesting to bring something new out, and something a bit different. That's what I would like to try and do, really. Or if there's a new product, it'd be nice to get there, not first, but early on. Well, first is great, but to say, well, here's something new out there. Have a look and see what you think, and I'll tell you what I think as well. So basically, difficult one. Hard to know what to put out there. And then that kind of, I think you probably got the gist of the sort of segue onto the next bit, which is basically, do I cater for subscribers or non-subscribers? So I kind of hinted at the point there that I want to cater for subscribers, really. I mean, it's like with your bank account, isn't it? Or these old companies where they say new people joining us will get all this money off, and existing customers get nothing. I mean, of course, it's not quite the same, but I don't want to be sort of producing content that's really just for other people who aren't really that bothered about my channel and probably could take or leave it or whatever. I want to do stuff that's just interesting for people and for my people who subscribe, and the regulars, the people in the comments, and there's people who are lurkers, as the old term was, just don't particularly say anything but are there watching the videos, reading the comments, but don't necessarily say anything. And maybe there are a load of people who do that. I'll say there's 500 subscribers as this time of recording, but maybe all 500 of them do watch my videos over time, and just a lot of them don't make themselves known. Who knows? But yes, but I mean, it's a difficult one, this, because basically, as I say, I don't make any money from this channel. I never wanted to put adverts on. I think I originally got to the point where I could have put adverts on my channel, and at the time I didn't want to do it because it was when the adverts on YouTube were really non-standard, or I thought they were anyway, maybe they weren't, but and it's just annoying, and I thought I don't want to be annoying people, and I thought I don't want to put people off my channel either. I don't want them to have to sit through an advert. But nowadays adverts are so normal. I think people got used to them, really, and I kind of lost my train of thought, really. But I think what I was trying to say is that I didn't want to sort of, not making money from my channel or anything like that, and I wasn't attempting to, and I wasn't trying to, get, if I got to a threshold where I could do things to make money, I didn't want to do it because I wanted I just wanted to put them out there for people to access my videos and enjoy them, and and that's it, really. I was thinking that maybe I could start other channels as well, other interests of mine. I was thinking chocolate's a good way to start, really. So I did originally think that. I've not done anything else at the moment. Maybe one day I will. I don't know, but anyway, I think long story short is there's probably not much money to be made in reviewing chocolate, really. But it does cost. Yeah, that's where I was going. But it does cost money. I have to buy it with my own money. I don't get sent anything. Maybe if I had 1 million subscribers, Cadbury would be in touch, sending me stuff, or trying to. But I have to buy it on my own, and it can be quite expensive, really, overall. It's not cheap. Some of the Godiva chocolates I bought, £5 a box. I bought 2 of them, so it's £10, and then you buy all the other stuff on top of it. So sometimes I've spent like £30 on chocolate, in one time. And this is, that's so it builds up. It's not a cheap amount, and it's not a small amount of money. Maybe to some people it is, but yeah. So you'll be buying it, and obviously it's just to review it. It's not even really to enjoy it. As I go back to the ice cream part, I'm not really enjoying it when I'm eating it with you. It's not a thing. I'm doing it more in a job way, really. I'm reviewing it, to hand out there. I'm not sort of sat, doing something else, just nibbling on some chocolate, while I'm watching a film or something. So there is that. So basically, yeah. To go back to subscribers and non-subscribers, do I produce videos for them? So if I got to the point where I could put adverts on my channel, do I want to then start producing videos that would give me more views and things like this to generate revenue from the adverts and things like this? Do want to say, because obviously I don't have adverts in the moment, and I can't now. I think the subscriber threshold is 1,000 subscribers now before you can put adverts on my channel. But what I was thinking, well, I could do with a new camera, I could do with new lighting. I haven't got any lighting other than the daylight outside, which is why I struggle sometimes. I have to review them at certain times of the day, usually at weekends in the winter time, because there isn't a light to do it otherwise. It's a summerish now. It's 7:30 or something like that at night, and there is the light still to do it. But I'm restricted by that. And to buy some new lighting or whatever, 2-point lighting or 3-point lighting, it's £90+. I was thinking I might try and do some green screen at the back, but to do that, it's time as well. I was thinking, it's all this basically. New camera, hundreds of pounds, green screen, £100 odd, new lighting, £100. The chocolate itself, £10+ a week or whatever, £10+ every 2 weeks, depending on what goes on. If new stuff comes up, I think, I've got to get it to review it. It all adds up really. And I was thinking, well, what? What would be a good idea if I could have adverts on my channel? You might bring in some, £10 a month or something maybe. It won't be much, I don't think. All depends on. Well, I'll come to that in a second. What it depends on, but basically, I thought, well, so basically the non-subscribers who give me more views than my subscribers, it's just the way to. Say whether it's interest views and longevity, well, whether basically equates to more minutes per view or whatever is another matter, and I'll come to that in a second. But the long story short is, yes, I've had to say 9,000 views of my Heroes review, whatever it is. I don't have 9,000 subscribers, and I doubt each subscriber's watched it. I don't know how many times that would be each. So clearly, so there is something there. So I thought, well, I could profit from, the non-subscribers, and then put the attention back in for the subscribers to like, really. So obviously, I'd like to know what you think about that. Whether you'd be okay to, once I do get something where I could put adverts in, whether that would be something you'd enjoy, of course. But the problem is, it does make me feel a bit compromised, because I'm thinking, well, I get back to the other point where, do I produce reviews of stuff that's just going to get more views, and stuff like that. It does encourage that, doesn't it? That's the thing. Because I think the way YouTube does it, and I'm not sure about this, but basically, I think interactions on the videos produce interest, which equates to more money per view. I think more time spent watching the video. So basically, if someone watches, you get 1 million views, but everyone's only watched 10 seconds, but if you get 100,000 views, everyone's watched 10 minutes, I think that equates to more money per view as well. So you'll notice that on a lot of the YouTube channels, there will be more videos like this, where it's people just talking, for a while, and speaking slowly sometimes, really slowing down their voice. Whether purposefully or not, I'm not sure, but sometimes I think maybe yes. Or cutting away to things, having a clip, say something, clip, come back, say something, clip, come back, some other nonsense. It's basically just to keep retention, have more, to make you watch more minutes, basically, and that equates more money for them, they get more money for that. That's the way I've took it anyway. So anyway, so basically, if I do get more money, if I do get advertisements and things, am I going to start doing things like that? And I don't really want to do that really, but at the end of the day, I think I'll have to see really, because I don't know. Well, I say I'll have to see. I'll have to see. I'll still probably do the same videos that I do in the same way, and I won't be encouraged to do other ones. I'll still do the same types, because basically the Heroes reviews and stuff that I did 2 years ago or whatever, and I'll probably redo them towards Christmas, because I think Heroes have done a new set now, and they were my old videos anyway, so they need updating really, with better scores and things. But they tick away in the background, I don't have to do them again. They'll always be there. People will keep watching them. So, you know, I don't need to worry about that too much, because once I've done the review, it's always there and people will still watch it. I'm saying that's why it still gets more views, and that's why the Easter one, cream egg one or whatever. And also, you know, yeah, he's getting views, you know, even now, even though it's on Easter and things. But also the fact that I think if they have got advertisement, it encourages YouTube as well to put my videos out there, because YouTube now have a vested interest themselves to have my videos watched by other people. So their algorithms or whatever, won't be some guy sitting there with their algorithms, will be trying to get my videos out there because they'll have a revenue. So they want people to watch my videos. So that's probably one of the main reasons I'm thinking that putting adverts on would be good, because I think it encourages YouTube then to actually try to encourage people to watch my videos. I mean, you know, it sounds one of those, doesn't it? I mean, do I want more views and more subscribers? I don't really know. I guess technically yes, don't you? You want more people, but I mean, it's nice to have a small niche, a small amount of people that you can really interact with. You know, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, isn't it? I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess it's flattering if more people are watching it. I mean, obviously, you know, I won't deny that if I had 2 billion subscribers and I got £1 million a day from advertising money, you know, I can't say that wouldn't be a lovely thing. I mean, you know, I am human, you know. Yeah, but you know, so I don't know. I won't complain at that. But of course, yeah, I think you just want to be. You do want your videos to be watched. You put a lot of effort into them, put time into them. You do want more people to watch, and I think that's just it, really, isn't it? You know, yeah. I think that's generally. I don't know. Not really sure. I've said all that, and I don't really know. I guess. Obviously, I'd like to retire tomorrow. Definitely, you know. So if I somehow manage to get all the people watching and understanding that enabled that, then that'd be great, you know. But I think I would like to still do the same type of reviews, the same type of videos and things, and obviously improve them. I mean, yeah, I think people who've been watching for a while have seen how I've changed doing things slightly over the years. You know, maybe not dramatically so. I have to weigh up the time that it takes to do the videos and things, and when putting them out there, because if I don't enjoy it, I think I just have to give up. You know, I say enjoy. You know, if it becomes too much of a burden to do it, you know, it's yeah. So I've got to bear in mind that I've got to keep myself sane. You know, so. But yeah, so anyway, let me know what you think about that, whether the subscriber versus non-subscriber stuff, you know, whether you're happy with adverts as a means to an end, to actually be able to afford to get better lighting, to perhaps get green screen going on, a better camera, you know, maybe have 2 cameras, you know, I could cut away, I could have one permanently on the chocolate, one on me, things like this, you know, it's all these things possible, you know, better microphones, you know, yeah, stuff like that, really. You know, I mean, I'm assuming you'd want that, really. Obviously, you know, I think the answer. I like to think the answer is you'd want that, and I think everyone's so used to adverts on YouTube now. I don't think it's a problem like it was when it first started. You know, yeah. So there we are. Yeah. So is there anything else, really? I think that's the main thing. Yeah, I wanted to get to. As I say, I think it's always the case where, you know, I'd rather sort of cater for my subscribers and my non-subscribers. I think that's the way all YouTube channels are. I think you want to rather than these non-subscribers watching videos and just drifting off after one video, that you want to retain them. But you know, I think I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the way YouTube is, you generally probably I don't know. I've not watched many YouTube channels really, as in all these big ones that people talk about. But I tend to think even they probably will have more, you know, more non-subscribers and subscribers watching their stuff. But I don't know. It's different, isn't it? If it's a pop star or something, I don't know. Maybe it's a bit different. You know. Yeah. I don't know. Talking rubbish there, maybe. But yeah, I think the thing is you'd like people to be encouraged to stay in. So I think I think what I'm trying to say is I'd always be trying to cater for my subscribers and my non-subscribers. But yeah, you've just, you know, but it's one of those where, yeah, you know, like I was saying, I'm not going to, even though obviously pumping out videos that are very typical, whereas dairy milk is, you know, cream eggs or whatever, you know, I'm just not going to review anything different. You know, I think that would be a bit rubbish really, so I don't intend to do that. But I do have to weigh up the fact that some things just aren't really interesting. The surprising one was the Japanese Kit Kats. I mean, maybe that'd be a bit different now, but I really thought these would be really, I mean, they're one of the first things I reviewed really. And they're really random, like small Kit Kats half the size of egg ones, still 2 fingers, but you those chocolate covered wafer bars that you get if you don't know what Kit Kat is, and it's 2 fingers generally. But they have random flavours, like wasabi or cheesecake or green tea flavour or whatever, and basically it'd either be flavoured inside the wafer or the chocolate around the outside, and they're really unique flavours, and they really taste just like they're trying to taste like. So the wasabi one, even though it's got no spice to it, actually tasted hot. It was really weird, one of the weirdest things I've tasted. Really nice. They all taste really good, and I thought, this is really different. This, Kit Kat's known in the UK and elsewhere. People want to see this, and no one really was that bothered. It just didn't get many reviews at all. Whereas, as I say, throw out Cadbury's Dairy Milk or something, or Cadbury's Roses, and it gets relatively for thousands basically. Very strange. Very very odd one really. So to review or not to review, what should I review? What do you want me to review? I mean, well, let me know, of course. People do, some friends and things send me things that they like me to review, or people I know through the channel that tell me things to review and send me things as well. I do try to get around to them all as well. Sometimes it's difficult because I have to weigh it up. Sometimes I get sent sort of very niche Christmas chocolates, that are only available in certain countries or whatever, and obviously I've got loads to review, and I have to sort of weigh them up, and I think, is there really any interest in me reviewing this, and I've got to prioritise it, and then of course this is only out for Christmas or whatever, and it's now March because I've really had to review so many things, and do I review it, difficult one. So let me know what you think of my reviews, whether you like me to review random stuff, or whether you like, or both really. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably both, isn't it? But long story short is that I need to try and obviously pick and choose what I review sometimes, and it is difficult to make that decision as just what's worth reviewing. I try to review everything, of course. I try not to. I mean, that is generally the gist of it, but there are some times where because it's food, and you can eat so much in a day, sometimes you just can't physically review everything because you don't have the time, and there's just too much. You're too full, not comfortable eating too much. You've got other things to eat in the day as well. You go out for a meal or whatever. You just can't review everything. You can nibble things, I guess, but I don't really feel that's reviewing stuff properly. You'll notice I do eat the whole biscuit. I can try and nibble stuff. Could try and do that, but I don't think that's properly reviewing things. I think you've got to really eat it. I've considered that really, where we just have really small amounts, stick to just one chunk of chocolate, and I don't know. Very difficult. Like sometimes you think, I need to taste it again, and you just have to eat another one because you need to remind yourself what it tastes like to report on the taste of it, during a review. So yes, I think that's really what I wanted to get at really. What your thoughts about it? What your thoughts are on when I can, or if I ever do, doing advertisements on the channel. I never want to be at the point where I'm obviously paid by companies to give reviews. I mean, that's never what I'm going to do. I'm never going to do that, and if I ever did I would say so, but I'm never going to. I don't see the point of that. I want to be totally independent. I mean, I might, there might be things where I say, put a link in the description to where you can buy the product or something, but I mean, you could kind of say, well, that encourages me to give a good review, but I don't know. I think I mean, I would always be honest, I think, so I'm not sure where I want to give the impression I might not be being. But I think the advertisements, I think that's something I would explore at some point. I just think, it would pay for things that might otherwise, just cost stuff, and it would be nice to sort of be just to get a gauge as well. I think that's the other thing. It's a gauge of how well the channel's doing, I guess, because you can directly see from the amount of money that comes in, you can correlate it to views. Like at the moment, my average views on channels, I do like a 10-minute review and it only gets an average 1 minute is the average view length, and I'm thinking, well, is that good? I don't know, I mean, that could be, but it's hard to know, isn't it? I don't know whether that's a good or a bad thing, and I guess the monetization bit would help give more of a gauge to that, really, because I do put pointers in my thing as well, put where the review starts, where I open it and stuff like this, and obviously maybe some people just skip to the end, I don't know, some people who just leave comments, I don't think actually even watch the reviews, they just leave comments, which is fine, but I think there are people like that, but it's interesting, so you do get all sorts, so there we go. yeah, so there we are. I don't think there's much more to say. I'm hoping I've not forgot anything. It'd be annoying if I have forgot something. But yeah, so let me know. As I say, let me know. Yeah, if you're even watching this far, who knows? Maybe you've probably given up long ago. But yeah, if you'd mind adverts, what your thoughts are generally in monetization, what your thoughts on YouTube generally and people trying to make money from it, and what you like to see reviewed, the type of videos you like, and whether you've noticed that people spend too much, seem to prolong the videos, by talking about. So you might be thinking, I'm doing it now, who knows? But you know what I mean? Seems to speak slowly, intersperse it with stuff, don't start speaking like, people like to talk about chocolate, but do they really like chocolate? Here's what I think. Speaking like that, and there are ones, I've only just realised it myself when I was looking into monetization, I've started to see it really. It's been highlighted to me. Maybe you'll notice it now yourselves. But yeah, anyway, let me know. Let me know what you think and what you think about what I do review, what I don't review, whether you agree with me on it, whether you think I should branch out into other things, what you think about selecting what to and not to review. The whole advert thing, let me know about that as well. And whether, and as I say, obviously what you reckon about the subscribers versus non-subscribers, and what you reckon about that. Obviously, as I say, I think my view is I want to put things out that I think are interesting the long story short is I want to review what is interesting, new and old, random and niche, mass market and everything, different, and I want to review all that. So I will review Cadbury's Roses. It's not to get more views, it's just because I want to review them, they're a popular product, and I want to give my take on them. But I want to review Montezuma's chocolate or whatever, because it's something different, and it might be, my people might like it, want to try it because I say it's good, or might avoid it because I say it's bad, and of course I said Montezuma's now, so we'll go watch more reviews of them anyway, see what you think. You can find them somewhere by searching, of course, Chocolo Roberto Montezuma's in Google or something like that. So there we go. So basically I want to cater for my subscribers, but but by the same token, I think I'll be catering for the non-subscribers as well by producing the Cadbury's cream egg reviews and the Cadbury's roses reviews. So I think basically I think I'm in a fortunate position where I've kind of answered my own question, and I'll probably just be catering for everyone really by default. But I don't think, and I think it's just like that really. So I think basically I can produce a video of Cadbury's roses, and it'll be there for however long it is, and it will attract the non-subscribers, and maybe they'll subscribe to like what they see, maybe they won't. And they're catered for, and then I can do a review of Montezuma's chocolate, and the subscribers can watch it or not, and it might get 50 views or something, whereas the Cadbury's Heroes ones or whatever's getting 1,000 or something like that, and that might bring in new subscribers, and I think that's the gist of it. So I think I've got to balance it like that, I think. But but anyway, let me know what you think. I think I've gone on for long enough now. Is it 40 minutes or something, cracky, 43 minutes almost? Yeah, so well, as I say, I'm not making money from it. I've got no advertisement at the moment, so I've had no vested interest in keeping this going. I don't think it's going to be a long-lived video, as in I don't think it's going to be relevant after a week's time. So there's no reason for me. I'm not getting anything out of it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not dragged it on purpose. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed watching it. Let me know what you think. Sorry if I bored you. Let me know what you think on this video itself, whether you've liked this discussion format and on a random subject such as this, not necessarily particularly specifically about chocolate, but just about my channel and how I'm doing things. So let me know what you think. Right, well, I'll leave it there, I guess, yes. Like my videos and subscribe as well. You probably already subscribed, you probably already liked it or not. Don't know why I'm bothering saying that. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, things like this. Yeah, get in touch. As I say, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Take care and see you later. Bye for now. See ya.